Hey guys, it's nice to be to me again. Sorry if I seem a little not as chipper this week. Let's just say I'm dealing with something, and that something is somebody decided not to be in my life anymore. I'm not mad about that person. It was all of a sudden, but that's not why we're here to focus today. I promised you guys I'd build a starter home and adventure awaits that's actually better affordable, so that's what we're gonna do today. And the best part is, we're gonna try and aim for a family home, so let's hope we can do that. So right here, you can see I picked one of the smallest lots in Gibby Point. I bulldozed the original house here because I want to start fresh. I also looked at plenty of images online of both Australian and New Zealand styled homes, and a lot of them I would call modern suburbia. At least that's what I think. So I think I wanted to start with like a small living room, like not too big, but just a decent sized one. And something interesting about these living rooms, they have like poles, like these pillars that are right outside them. You'll see why those exist later, but that's kind of like a central point to the house, like that. That might be a little more interesting. I think it's definitely a different style, but not too bad entirely. That's an interesting thing I saw about these kind of homes. They have like these kind of outlets with these pillars. So I really wanted to respect that when building this house because it felt decently appropriate to me. There, I think replacing that roof in the middle really helped adjust this to be a little more realistic. Now, the reason why I am doing all this in the first place, wow, that's weird. It doesn't consider these pillars to be part of the house, which is super interesting in my mind. Let me see if I can add them and make it think that's more part of the house. It might be because of the platforms. Platforms are very finicky in this game. Like, sometimes they're weird. That's all. There, I gave the roof a little adjustment. I'm trying to make sure it's not like so like deep right here, because I thought the deepness right there was looking super odd. Like, I didn't like the way it looked. Now it looks much better. You will not believe how hard it is to pick a wallpaper for this place, because the thing is, I want the door to look nice. This front door, while these windows are pure white, which is great. That's great. It's just that, you see how it could be, well, we could make them brown. I think that helps a little bit with the color, because it makes that seem a little more natural. There we go. Some nice window layout. Nothing too crazy. Just enough to get some light in this place. I'm trying to just save as much as the budget as I can. That's the whole plan here. All right, so for the kitchens, I do have some ideas. For the entryway, I especially want to use stone, because, you know, that's something outdoorsy. That's something I think would be very, very welcoming in this house. Now, for the main gathering room in the house, I think we should find a nice, like, outdoorsy color for all this. Like, something bright, but not too bright. Like a tan would be perfect for this outside room. So for the kids' room, it's pretty obvious we're going to use this wallpaper. I just want to see like what kind of cool options we have. This one seems nice. Then for the parents' room, it's probably going to be very similar in color style. We're just going to pick something a little different so it feels a little more styled in this room. There, I don't think that's too bad of a kind of paint job. The only thing I really think that I would love to do is I'd love to find this exact same color but with the trim. Nah, I think it's better without the trim. It looks a little more pleasing to the eye. So we're gonna need a stove and a sink in a kitchen. Let's see, what kind of kitchen cabinets should we go with? There's plenty of options. Ooh, there is this these ones have like that brown that goes with the wall. But then there's these dark brown ones which really go with the rest of the house. I think these black cabinets don't go too bad because they help bring out the white on the wall a little bit. Maybe we should go with something like that. The only issue I have is I don't like where the fridge is. I wish I'd well, nothing says I can't just move some stuff around and put the fridge over here, because that's my preferred place for the fridge. Because, like I said before, the internet, real home design says that you should put the fridge, the sink, and the stove in a shape, an L, to make them most functional and make the best kitchen you can. Because here's my expectation. When you play this house in game, my expectation is that you are gonna not have probably immediate kids. You're probably gonna have child age Sims. So with that in mind, the best thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want a simple kitchen. Something like this is a very simple bathroom design that is good for a house of this size. It's not like the house is massive and it needs all these different appliances and stuff. It is more that the house is decently sized and it's going to need access to relatively almost everything to function properly. Now the only option I have is I'm trying to think of what's better, the black shower or the white shower. I think the white shower goes with everything a little bit better. Now for the parents' bedroom, obviously we can't afford like the biggest furniture that we want. Good news is it looks like the new beds are relatively similar when it comes to pricing. In fact, some of them are even cheaper, which helps us out a lot. And then I use like probably just like one nightstand. Because, let's face it, we're on a tight budget, so there's really no point including more than one nightstand. Not at the moment. It'd be best to include a small, singular nightstand, so at least one parent can have a place to put their stuff. There, I think that's good for right now, just so we can at least have the bed in there and get, like, the main essentials. Now, for the kitchen, again, I would say maybe a family of 3 would probably live here. So a standard kitchen would just be table. Then chair, chair, chair. Pretty self-explanatory, just kind of in its own little place. Now for the living room, this is where things get a little more difficult. We do have a lot of options. We even got this brand new couch, which this couch, well, it's authentic. It looks really good in a house like this. We just need to find like the right style and all that. And doesn't it come with a matching chair? It does come with a matching chair. Heart melts, makes me happy. So I'm thinking what we need to do is we need to use this bay window. Like we need to make sure this isn't blocked because this is a beautiful, beautiful window. How much is this? It's 155 simoleons. I thought this was going to be a lot worse. Let's see. Let's check the potential designs. We got the green one. The green one's great. I love this color. It's like, I can't tell if that's like a gray or a brown. I think it's a brown because that's what matches. I love that couch in this living room. So I'm thinking we should try that one. And then we can stick a matching... Ooh! Check out this chair. Look at this one. I love this chair. Okay, let's make sure it matches. Let's make sure we find a matching color. Now, if I could, I would use this ore lamp, but it's a little expensive. So for right now, we're going to stick with a basic lamp. Just for money reasons. Just to make sure we're getting everything we need. There, we got the living room figured out. Should we stick the bookshelf out here? I want to get us a desk, but I don't. The only issue is I don't know where to put that. We put it in the parents' room. They can have a desk. Okay, now for the kids' room. Now, there's a lot of different things we could do for this kids' room in a good way. We got this new bed. Like, this bed, I think, is perfect for the kids' room. The only issue is I think it's hard to use. So it would be best to use a bunk bed. Now, the bunk bed is 320 simoleons. But it is really nice. I mean, look at this bunk bed. I mean, it comes in all sorts of colors. Ooh, that looks fun. Like this little kayak. Like, little kayak area. That's adorable. I think that's perfect. Let's go ahead and slide a desk into this room. We'll put this folding desk. That way it looks a little more rustic. And we can easily add this little crafting spot. This is only 20 simoleons, so it's super easy to add to a kid's room. We can start off with a little chest in the living room. And then right with that chest, we could stick a bookshelf for the parents, obviously. And the kids. Kids can use it too. I don't know if we'll be able to afford a computer. We will definitely look at that. But let's add some quick indoor plants. Just to spruce this place up a little bit. Ah, get it, spruce. Because type plant. I would love to add this gallery. This is 200 simoleons, so it's a little expensive. So let's wait to do that. Let's make sure the rest of the house is done first before we go crazy on the money. I do want to get the blender, and we do have a kitchen counter for it. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the blender down before I forget. Wow, this kettle's 300 simoleons. Oh, Sims pricing. What shall I do with you? All right, now for the front and back of the house. We are going to need to get a waste bin. That's important. This flower area looks really weird, so we're going to go ahead and extend that out. And then for this area, I'll place some, like, gonna need some lighting so people could see their way to the house. Now for the back here, I don't think I want to spray paint. For the back, I don't think I want to use just your generic, like, stuff. I actually want to paint my own. Now there is a fence from the pack that I think would be good for a back fence. This one right here, if we do something like this. I think this would be a little interesting to have on the backyard. And we get this tall tree for out in front of the house to add some little detail. The whole point of building this though is because I'm trying to make sure your Sims, because something that's been happening recently, and you probably all have noticed this, the Sims homes have gotten to a amount of expensive where your Sims barely have any money when they move in. I don't like that. I want your Sims to at least have at least 1,000 simoleons when they move in. I don't want that to be impossible. I want that to be the norm. So it doesn't make any sense if the newest builds just... And I understand Sims creators are building these homes, and that's great. However, they need to understand these are starter homes. We shouldn't be bank robbing your Sims simply by them trying to move into a brand new house. Because that's when things get bad. But that's really expensive. The swing set isn't that expensive. The slide is 900 simoleons, so that's about that's a little more expensive than a computer. We'll see what we can do for the backyard, because I think relatively the house is pretty much good. Other than maybe like a decoration or two here and there, which I want to add just a little bit of decorating. We don't have to do, because the house is already super nice. There's not much we need to change. I do need to make sure we get a waste bin before I forget, because that is something I commonly way too often forget about. How much is like the wall phone? We could add these like pots and pans, or these ores. There's these cool ores we could add to the wall. The phone is only 160 simoleons. But what if we replace, I think this banner would look so much better instead with ores. Because I think the ores add a little bit more detail. There we go, a little sitting area. Now for the kids' stuff. Oh, so let's see here. The swing set and the slide. How much would that cost together? Ooh, you would barely have enough money left to do basic things. So we should pick one or the other. The slide would look cool, but I say we do the swing set. There are a small pine tree in the back. Probably add a second one to make it feel a little better back there. See how a little bit of like just some basic decorating can do. Like really piecing this place together. I love it, and it's a starter home, and this time you will have 1,170 simoleons left over if you're starting with one sim. I beat my goal, which was to get 170 simoleons at least. Now let me go ahead, add some terrain paint, because clearly we need that, and we'll be done here. So the lot is called Familial Outdoors. You will find it on my gallery. But yeah, I think we found a good place to end. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video so more people can see it. And subscribe to my channel if you are new. I do all kinds of Sims content, including builds, reviews, news, and gameplay about The Sims. Now, I do have a main channel called Garrcall. The Sims channel came from that one. It was very popular. But on that channel, I do all kinds of content, all gaming variety. And we stream every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. So feel free to tune in there. If you want any of these builds, they are on my gallery, garrcall, all lowercase. You can find in the description down below so you can easily spell it out. But I put a notch hashtag so you guys can be able to find these things. But yeah, thank you for listening to me about my rough time. I know it's hard and it's difficult for me, but yeah, I am okay for now. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye!